Taiwan. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Taiwan's manufacturing industry is seeing a recovery as furloughed workers return to the workplace. A labor ministry report shows that of the over 1,600 people on mandatory paid leave returning to work, 92% are employed in manufacturing. The industry accounts for around 35% of Taiwan's GDP, with chipmaker TSMC dominating the sector. The Labor Ministry says the rebound is due to increased orders in the manufacturing industry. Prominent disability rights lawyer Chun-han has died at age 40. Tiffany Wong takes a look at his life and work.
Before disability rights lawyer and scholar Chun-han became an advocate for others, he learned the power of advocacy from his mother. Chen was born 40 years ago with spinal muscular atrophy, a condition that affects muscle movement and development. And after suffering burns while at college in Taiwan, he had both legs amputated. But Chen persevered in his studies and later graduated from Harvard and University of Michigan's law schools. Over the years, Chen became known for his work advocating for greater accessibility that was lacking when he was growing up, inspiring others in Taiwan to imagine a brighter future for those living with disabilities.
他其实也很投入在身心障碍者的一些工作权益的职务再设计的一些相关的推动，所以我觉得以他的一个个人的经历跟需求，以及他国外所学到他很多的一些法律带到国内，我觉得对台湾来讲是非常重要的一个人物，对。
In January's elections, Chen was one of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party's legislative nominees and aimed to promote drug reforms for people with disabilities.
每一条生命都应该要被珍惜，所以我希望是台湾在整体的罕病的药物支付上面的制度的相关改革，我们是不是可以更快速？
And though he lost the seat, the party vowed to continue the work that he started. Chen was recently hospitalized for complications from a cold and passed away over the Lunar New Year holiday.
非常难过，因为我们都知道他是一个勇敢的生命斗士。
Chun-han的一生都是非常激励人心的故事。
In a statement online, Chen's family wished him peace and freedom from pain and said they'll hold a public memorial to honor him later this month, allowing those whose lives he's helped improve a final chance to say goodbye. Howard Zhang and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
A Cambodian court has sentenced the Taiwanese live streamer and his cameraman to 2 years in prison. Streamer Chen and Chuan, known online as Goodnight Chicks, claimed he'd broken into the headquarters of a scamming ring only to be caught and tortured. But it all turned out to be fake. Police say they found Chen and his cameraman staying at a hotel with a room full of props. The pair were arrested. Criminal rings have abducted hundreds of Taiwanese citizens in recent years in Cambodia, using fake job offers to lure their victims to the country. Police say the fake video damaged Cambodia's image and public order. For an in-depth look at what the sentencing of these Taiwanese live streamers means, John Van Trist spoke to political and cultural commentator Brian Hugh from New Bloom magazine.
So what does this say about Taiwan's internet culture? These particular live streamers aren't the only ones who've been, doing more and more extreme things to get more views.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, actually, because at a time in which there's a lot of concern about misinformation and disinformation, influencers are somewhat new territory. Where previously, for example, there was a fight between two influencers, Toys and Chao Ge, that was also accused of being fake. There was also, for example, Brian Tseng had a viral stunt where he pretended to give 50,000 NT to a military veteran, which turned out not to really exist. But it's interesting how the public responded this time around in reacting against the influencers. So I think there is still this attempt to call them to account regarding exaggerating or creating fake news.
A lot of the anger from the Cambodian side has been about, not things like wasting police resources, but actually damaging the country's image in the international sphere. Now, it's true that Cambodia is a place where Taiwanese people have been abducted or lured into sort of kidnapping schemes. But do you see this as an attempt to sort of capitalize on a stereotype?
So it is the case that there have been kidnappings in Cambodia by the thousands. And so there's a lot of views of Cambodia and Taiwan. But I think particularly Cambodia has a priority on maintaining its reputation for tourism and avoiding this perception of the country as scam-ridden or just allowing for scams and kidnappings. And that's why there is such a strong response. But I think it does point to, for example, Southeast Asia in terms of Southeast Asian countries and how Taiwan is a safe country that may provide tourism, for example.
Now, the wild card in this scenario is actually China. There's a history in Cambodia of sending suspected Taiwanese criminals to China and treating them as Chinese citizens, as China would claim. Do you see them handing over these two influencers back to Taiwan at the end of their jail sentence?
Cambodia is a place in which there's a significant level of Chinese influence. I think that particularly if that did occur, this would, again, switch perceptions up. I think there would be more sympathy towards the streamers, whereas previously there would not be. I think in this case, because it is it does not involve, for example, Chinese victims, as cases of telecom fraud often do. And that is one of the reasons, I think, why Taiwanese then are sent to China. It's not just necessarily the views of territory and that China's claims over Taiwan. So I think it's to be seen, but if so, that'd be a very unexpected twist, and it would, again, cause a switch in perceptions about this case.
That was political and cultural commentator Brian Hu speaking to our reporter John Van Trist. Chinese youth are trading desk jobs for a more fulfilling, minimalistic approach to life. As Rosie Guaninger reports, the trend known as lying flat poses an immense economic challenge to China's government.
Putting a corporate career dream to rest, Shanghai-based Chu Yi has found happiness in a hobby she hopes can one day make her an income. Facing an economic slump and bleak employment prospects, the 23-year-old is one of many young people in China choosing to take care of their personal well-being and pursue a more minimalistic approach to life.
现在会更满意一点，就是觉得把现在的工资跟以前在公司上班的几千块工资全部都用来作为真正属于自己的时间去做让自己开心快乐的事情，我觉得对我来说很值得。
She now works one day a week to support herself through a tattoo artist apprenticeship. Dubbed lying flat, this trend sees the nation's younger generation working only to cover basic living expenses and dedicating their time to leisure or personal interests. The jobless rate of China's 280 million youth aged 16 to 24 rose to a record high of just over 21% last year, as the economy struggles to return to pre-pandemic levels.
可能稳定职业可以给到的保障跟以前不太一样吧。现在好像其实稳定这个字就比较难达成，无论你在任何行业，所以大家就会更想要去做自己有兴趣的事情。
College graduates are struggling to find jobs to match their qualifications, and if they acquire one, typically encounter high pressures and long working hours for little financial gain. The uncertainty and dim economic prospects are leaving many of the younger generation pessimistic.
China has seen tremendous educational expansion in the past several decades. And for youth today, getting a college education so that you can get a job remains a certain kind of truism. Yet what we are observing is China's economy slows and the labor market prospect remains bleak. So it's a profoundly challenging mismatch for young people to navigate as they try to find their place in the world and strive to a path of social mobility.
China's government has been attempting to address the issue through various programs and policies to create more jobs. But analysts say it is not enough to solve the root causes of the problem. With China's youth representing 20% of the country's consumption and the nation battling an economic downturn, for President Xi Jinping, youth unemployment and lying flat poses a critical political challenge. Patrick Chen and Rosie Guaninger for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching today's What's Up Taiwan. Before we go, check out these highlights from the carnival in Rio de Janeiro. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.